9 compelling reasons to never retire. The sixth reason is the best one, and number 7 is pretty good too. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, you get to stay mentally sharp. If you're like me, I'm 68, we have a tendency to forget things. I know here I'm in my man cave. I've got a kitchen in the back. You can see a bunch of pots there. You can probably tell I'm a golfer. I've got on my dad's hat the Joe Colosi Cup. He passed away in 2006, and we have a tournament for him. So anyway, in my kitchen, I'll want something. I go back in my pantry. On the way back, I'll forget what I'm looking for. You're probably laughing right now because it's happening to you. Once, it happened more than once, I'm on my cell phone telling the person I'm talking to that I can't find my cell phone. Has that ever happened to you? Well, if you're constantly doing things, if you're learning new things, if you're out and about, if you're exercising with that Medicare, silver sneakers, okay? If you're doing those things, getting out of the house, maybe you've got a part-time job. Maybe you started a business. Because that's what I'm going to recommend some of you do, is start a business. And we'll get into it in a little while. So anyway, it helps you stay mentally sharp, okay? Reason number 2, and for some of us, this is a big one, financial security. If I want to live the lifestyle I've been living, I don't have enough with my investments and Social Security to do that. So I've got to make an extra 5, 6, 7,000 a month so I can go to Florida in the winter, play a lot of golf, take trips, do things like that. So your financial security. I know I've been in, Walmart. I'll see somebody in there 75 years old working. I don't know how much per hour that is, but you might want to consider a part-time job to do that. If you're a golfer like I am, you could be a starter, or you could go work putting out the carts. You could be a ranger. There's lots of things you can do. Reason number 3, social connections. If we don't talk to anybody all day long, but that TV in front of us, it's a one-way social thing, okay? You're talking to the TV, but it's talking back, but it's not a human. I mean, it's a human, but it's already recorded, okay? So you've got to go out. Another reason to not retire, or 7 reasons, is to get out there and socialize, okay? As if you continue working or you get a job, you start a business, I mean, you don't even think about that part of it, but you are socializing, okay? The next reason to never retire is your physical health. I was just in Ace Hardware, and I met somebody, and at the end I asked him what his age was, and it was 72, and he's 4 years older than me. He had a big stomach on him, and he had to sit all the time in the store, couldn't get up, and he was out of breath. I had to help him out of a lounge chair in the Ace Hardware to get up today. A very interesting conversation. He still has his own business, and he's got a hobby where he collects cars. So he's done very well in his life. So he did really well, but the health part he didn't do too well. Okay, he can barely get around. So physical health, if you're active, okay, start exercising. I mean, exercise for us retirees, us over 60, is more important today than it was when we were 30. When we exercised when we were 30, yes, we'd see a difference. But exercising now at this age, we can see an immediate big difference, okay? Now, I didn't mean, if you've got the last one I'm talking about, a big stomach on you. I just recently lost 63 pounds, and I had a big stomach on me also. So I can say those things. And if you've got a big stomach and you want to get rid of it, put down something in the comments, and I'll shoot a video on how I lost my 63 pounds and continue. I mean, I'm the first time in 30 years I've been under 200 pounds. I'm 5'11", and when I graduated, well, not when I graduated, that's a whole nother story, but when I finished, let's say, when I was 20 years old, I weighed about 175 pounds. So I'm less than 25 pounds away from that. Okay. So anyway, if you want some if you want me to create a video on that, put it down in the comments, and I'll create something on that just for you. Okay. Okay. Number 6, the big one. Okay. The big one is sense of purpose. Okay? Now, in your job, you have a sense of purpose. Whether you like it or not, there's still some sense of purpose. Okay? In my life, and it continues today, we had a saying, or I had a saying, thank goodness it's Monday. Not thank goodness it's Friday, but Monday we can go back to work, believe it or not. And I was more exhausted on the weekends than I was during the week when I worked. I have never, and I've been doing this since I was 23 on my own, okay? I have never set an alarm to get up for work. I don't know what setting an alarm is about. The only couple of times in my life that I have to set an alarm is if I got to catch a plane. But I do this mental thing, and I see the clock thingies go around to whatever time I got to get up. Let's say it's 3 a.m., and I usually, 9 times out of 10, will wake up before 3 a.m. So I've never set the clock. I've never had to ask for a vacation. Never had to ask for a day off. Never had to ask, can I go play golf on Fridays? During my whole business life, I took off at least Friday afternoon, but during the golf season, Fridays were off. We've got a little travel group of 4 guys, and every Friday we travel, within an hour and a half of where I live. I live in Rochester, New York, the suburb of Pittsford, and it's my brother, my second best friend, Johnny B. Someday I'll talk about that. And Ray Connor. And we go somewhere different. And I belong to a club as these guys belong to the same club that I do. And we go to reciprocals. If you're not a golfer, reciprocals is it's inexpensive. It's like $30 to play another course. And these are all very nice golf courses. So I've been doing that my whole business life. Every day for me is exciting. And I want every day for you to be exciting. If your job is no longer exciting and you can retire and then start a business consulting right off the bat with what you're an expert in, okay? And if it's nothing at work, there's probably something personally. If you lost 63 pounds, I could show you how to start a business exactly on YouTube like I'm doing, where you could sell consulting on helping people lose weight. And I'm telling you this, once you have your own business or you're retired and you work part-time, you enjoy going in. You enjoy meeting new people. You enjoy getting up. You pop out of bed in the morning. I'm 68, like I said, and I have more energy now, I think, than I was like when I was 25. Maybe not quite as much, but I have, as you can probably tell, lots of energy. When you've got exciting things to work out, places to go, people to see, your energy comes back, okay? And once your energy comes back, you're going to want to exercise, okay? Because it's more important to us now. Even if you just walk, okay? Start walking for 20 minutes. That's something, okay? So you're going to have a great sense of purpose by doing these things. Okay, number 7, continuous learning. If you're not learning something new, you're not moving ahead, you're going backwards. No such thing as standing still. By starting a business or volunteering, doing something, some kind of a schedule, you are learning all the time. And when you learn, and this was a hard concept for me when I first started thinking about doing it. What's the sense of learning something if maybe I die tomorrow? Well, you know what? When you were 35, you could learn something and die tomorrow, okay? And one little, I want to put a little footnote in here, okay? My Aunt Sadie, who is my father's sister, is 98 years old. Doing pretty darn good at 98 years old. I have committed to living to 98. So I'm going to act as if I'm going to live to 98. So for me, that's 30 more years. How much can I learn and improve my life all over? Not just financially, but exercise, spiritually, business-wise, socially. What lessons can I learn? You know, when I was younger, I was a real wise ass. I was very, very good at reacting very quick to what somebody says. And the reason that I did that, the reason that I was able to do that, I learned how to do that is because when I was in high school, I looked very, very young for my age and I was made fun of all the time. So I would come back with a very quick reaction to what anybody said to me. So that carried on until I matured. You know, finally, I reached puberty at age 19, believe it or not, okay? And I'm getting a little personal here. First time I had sex was with my wife when I was 23 years old on our wedding night. So I was a nerd, okay? I wasn't that developed. So when these kinds of things happen to you, you develop a very quick wit, okay? And in my 20s, I was a real wise ass, you know, and I turned off a lot of people, okay? And I've decided and I've learned how to count to 3 or 4 before I say anything. And if what I'm going to say is going to hurt someone, I do not say it. Now, when I'm with all my buddies, okay, we're on a golf trip, there is no filter, okay? But when I'm with family, not my immediate family, you know, if kids are around, those kind of things don't fly out, but I watch it somewhat, okay? If I'm out socially, I count to 3, and if it's not just generally funny, not jabbing someone, I don't say it, okay? So these are some of the kind of lessons that I've learned over a lifetime, and more since I've been up in years, okay? For example, and I'm sure this probably happens to you. My wife says I forgot. She already told me that. And I'm swearing she never told me that. And it goes back and forth both ways, okay? At first, I would say I told, and we'd argue about it, okay? Now, when she says she told me about it and I don't remember, okay? Now I fold and I say, oh, okay, I must have forgot. That makes it much easier on your life situation, your marriage situation. I'm drinking beef broth because tomorrow I'm having a colonoscopy. Boy, I'm getting very personal here. Okay, the next one is an opportunity to give back. Okay, now if you volunteer, you can give back. Maybe your work, you don't need the money, okay? And you don't want to do that kind of stuff, so you volunteer. You could volunteer if you like dogs at a dog shelter, okay? Or a feline shelter, or for a number of different charities, okay? You could be a caregiver and actually get paid to do that and just hang out with somebody and do minor tasks, which get you up off your ass, and cooking maybe a little bit, maybe some light cleaning. And in the meanwhile, you're getting paid $25 an hour, okay? I'm not going to get into that in depth, but giving back, okay? You're going to feel good about giving back. And the last one is a personal satisfaction and achievement, okay? You're old, like me, and you're still achieving. You're still doing things that you thought you'd never do. You're still accomplishing things that you make you surprised that you are. Let me tell you this. You have more brain power than you've ever had. You have more experiences, obviously, than you've ever had. Okay? If somebody asks you a question about something, you can tell them 5 ways to do it and 7 ways that you wouldn't do it. That's how much experience you have. Okay, I'm done. Any comments? Put them down below, and I'll answer all of them. 9 compelling reasons to never retire. Thank you. Make it a great day.